welcome back to another episode of Dreamscapes. This is Alifia and this is Ria. And today we are going to talk about awake in a nightmare, basically like sleep paralysis. So Ria, what is your understanding about sleep paralysis?
So, sleep paralysis is basically a condition where you are sleeping but you are also awake. You are conscious but you are also unconscious. Like you are dreaming but you are also not dreaming. So, it's a state where your brain kind of stops functioning. It is usually termed as a disorder, but it's not. It's actually very common among people. Like everyone experiences once in their lifetime. So, in this condition, your brain just stops sending signals to your muscles. Your muscles just stops working. So, your body is kind of paralyzed, completely paralyzed. You cannot move, but you are awake. You have escaped your dream. You are awake, but you're also in the state of dreaming. So you do not realize what is happening. So your brain is still dreaming. So your brain stops sending signals to your muscles. So your body is completely paralyzed.
Like
you
now.
It's now. You cannot move. So this usually happens when you're sleeping on your back. Your body is straight. You cannot move, but your eyes are open. You are awake. You know what is happening in front of you, but you also know that you are dreaming. So it's that state where you just cannot function, and then you start hallucinating and stuff.
Have you experienced one?
I did experience one. My
When was
first, my
How
first
was
and
it?
the only. So what happened was I escaped it, but it was like I had sleep issues for a very long time. So sleep paralysis are for people who are diagnosed with sleep issues and disorders. So I did experience this. I was in my room sleeping. It was around I think 3:30 a.m. when I came out of my paralysis. I saw the time. It was 3:30 a.m. And what happened was that I knew that I am paralyzed. I knew this is sleep paralysis. I was straight. I was sleeping, and then my eyes they just opened and I was numb. I couldn't move. Like I understood that I'm awake now and I should be moving, but I was not moving, and I was completely straight. Like my hand was not even like this. Like I was completely straight. And then I realized that I am not moving. My eyes are open. I know what's happening, but I'm also not in that state of consciousness. So I knew that I am having sleep paralysis. And then uh, I knew that what happens after a point is it usually lasts for like a few minutes. So depends on people to people. So I was not moving at all, and then I knew that I am going to start hallucinating now because there's this thing that you start seeing shadows, or it's
I've
a
read
term.
about it. Yeah.
You start seeing shadows and stuff, but it's
Did
just
you
that
see one? Just
we are coming. We are coming to that.
okay.
So what happened was that it's just an illusion. You don't actually see shadows. There's like not a ghost or a demon. Usually termed as a demon.
Yeah.
The sleep paralysis demon, but it's just your mind playing games with you. It's not real. So I knew that I was going to start seeing some shadows and stuff, and which is going to scare me shit. But I did. I kept telling my mind that wake up, wake up. This is going to get worse, and you are going to shit your pants. Just wake up. And then I kept telling my brain that, and then somehow it just break me.
Okay. That's scary.
So I'm actually very proud that I got out of it by signaling my brain to wake me up.
Correct.
So I did not see shadows. I was going to see, but I did not
About to see.
about this.
But like I've read about it, like you feel a kind of pressure on your chest. Did you feel one?
I did. Of course, like you are paralyzed, so you feel that someone is sitting on you. That is because you cannot move.
Correct.
And that is usually if you see pictures.
Yeah,
or-
I've seen pictures like there's a demon sitting on your
Sitting
body
on
and
your
it's
body.
so scary.
It is. So there's a very cultural way of explaining it and also a very scientific way. And if we go to a cultural side, then there's this demon thing, like sleep paralysis demon. He controls your body.
Only for that particular
That
period of time or from that time onwards they control you.
That particular period. Because if you go to a scientific side, it's not real.
Correct.
But they have made a term that sleep paralysis demon. And he sits on your chest,
Yeah.
and that is why you feel a pressure
Pressure on
and
your
you are
chest,
pressured, and that's why you cannot move
Okay.
until you start seeing that demon in shadows.
But as you said, that you have to be on your back. So if you're not on your back, if you're lying on your stomach, you don't
No.
experience
No. From what I have, yeah.
I can't risk it.
Usually, if you go for like cure and treatment kind of things, they suggest you to sleep on your side or on your stomach.
Yeah.
So you don't, for people who frequently experience sleep paralysis. But I think your body is paralyzed only when you are like completely straight, sleeping on your back. We cannot be paralyzed when we're sleeping on the sides. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Like I told one of my cousins yesterday about the same topic, and even my brother have experienced it. But he was like this, and he felt like a chain around
He
him.
was tired.
Yeah, and he wasn't able to move. So then he was praying because it was so constant, he was not able to move. So then he was praying, and then it was how he came out of it. I'm like, okay, it's getting very serious. But so before you experienced that, a few days prior, did you had any dreams regarding like like a deep demonic dreams or like scary dreams?
Right. So I experienced sleep paralysis. I think last year was my first ever sleep paralysis. The first and the only one, touch wood. But before that, I had a lot of sleep issues.
Okay.
Where I had nightmares and stuff like every day just a bad dream. Lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is a major cause of sleep paralysis. If you search about it, it's a major cause. Lucid dreaming is a term where you know what you are dreaming. You can control your dream. You can control what's happening in your dream. So it's like you are half awake and half like you know you are sleeping, you are dreaming, but you know what is happening. That's what happened with me for like a couple of years. So I did not have a mind sleep. I was sleeping like for a couple of years and stuff, and then when I was getting out of it, and actually I started having like some good sleep. Then after
eventually
that,
started
it just
getting less.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah, but then suddenly I had the sleep paralysis thing. And I was confused that now that my sleep is improving, why am I having sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
And I think it just happened. Like, it was a closure kind of thing to that situation.
I have read that there are episodes of sleep paralysis.
Yes.
There are.
There are. Luckily, I did not experience that big of a deal of sleep paralysis, but I've heard for a lot of people, you experience it in episodes. Like, basically, the whole night goes with sleep paralysis episode.
Oh, God.
You're having one.
Episode is basically you don't experience it one day and the other day. So it's the same night it happens in episodes.
Yeah, it could be like, it could be both ways. Like, in the same night, you could be happening like multiple paralysis, or it would happen like every day.
Every day.
Yeah. Depends on people and what their condition is. Sleep condition.
So the morning when you got up, were you scared? Who was the first person you told that you got one?
I was not scared because I knew about it. I knew sleep paralysis exists and this is what happens. So I was not scared. I was actually kind of excited. I got my first sleep paralysis.
It's not something to be excited or happy about.
I know, but I've read about it. I know about it. So experiencing it was a great deal.
Yeah, I think it was during December when you experienced it.
I think
Like
it was winter.
And you told me, I was like, oh no.
It was winter.
So I remember she telling me that, and I was like, okay, that is where I knew that sleep paralysis is a thing. I didn't know about it at all. Then when we were researching for this project here, I saw the pictures and I was like, oh no. And while I was sleeping, I was so confused. I was like, what if it happens to me? I was so scared.
I hope it doesn't because she's shit scared of stuff like this.
So after next night, were you scared to sleep or like?
No, I just had like normal day. I was looking forward to
Getting one
again. I thought that what if it happens? I'll just snap out of it again like I do.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. So I have also like read about it that if you get like nightmares or like scary dreams, it is always said that there is a demon looking at you while you get those nights. I'm not sure about it, but I've read it somewhere and I actually I don't know.
This
It's
again
true.
comes to the cultural side where people think that when you are having a ghost dream or a nightmare, then you are usually surrounded with a ghost or a negative energy. But it's just at the end of the day, what you dream is your thought process. So if you are having a negative thought process, you are filled with fear and stuff, then you'll dream negative. You will have nightmares. And especially if you are going through a bad phase or some mental health issues, you have nightmares. It's very common.
So the last and the final question. So for the people who are experiencing it and who are scared that it might happen to them, because as you said that it happens to everyone at least once in their lifetime, what would you tell them? I just said that to me when I'm going to experience one someday or the other. So I'm scared.
So there's nothing to be scared about because it's just a normal thing. Like what I've heard is that there's no cure for it. So it's not even a disorder to have a cure for it. It's just a normal thing like what our body does. It's just the working.
It's just your brain that just catch it.
Yeah. So if you don't experience it, then it's good, well and good. If you're scared of it, or you didn't experience. But if you experience it, then maybe you need to change your sleep cycle and stuff, and
probably sleep healthy and
healthy, sleep hygiene,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So just have a good sleep schedule so you don't experience it. To avoid having
healthy
sleep
mental
health also. I think that's it. It's nothing to be scared about. Just a normal thing, and there's no such thing like sleep paralysis demon that will ghost you. It's just a normal thing.
Yes, it was normal.
Everything happens here. Just snap out of it.
Like, and I think that is the end of this episode. It was so fun, yeah. I enjoyed it. So, if you liked it, do like and subscribe to our channel and be ready for the next one. Bye!
तो बहुत वियर्ड चीज़ थी वो। तो एक बार मेरा एक्सीडेंट कैसा हुआ था कि मैं बाइक चला रहा हूँ, मेरा एक्सीडेंट हो गया, तो वो सब चीज़ें थोड़ी सी डरावनी थी, लेकिन मज़ा आई उसमें भी।